Hey, it's Caleb. For my project, I did the Jigsaw Man, and I'm just gonna tell you what it's about. So, this guy named Michael Fox, he's homeless. His family, most of it's dead. His daughter isn't speaking to him anymore. She blames him for the death of his family because it's kind of his fault because he's a lug, you know? So, he's gonna kill himself, get his insurance money to his daughter, and right as he's about to get hit by a train, this guy is like, hey, I'm gonna give you a lot of money for that arm of yours. And Michael's like, I don't know about that. But he accepts it because he's gonna die anyway, so what does it matter? So he goes from being this guy about to kill himself to he's got $2 million and all it's gonna cost him is his arm. So he goes to this place called the Castle with Drake, who's the guy who offered him the money. And he finds that he's not the only person that's donating limbs. So when he's there, the Dr. Marshall, the guy that is transplanting limbs, shows them around, shows them his experiments, and then shows them his son, who can't walk. And that's the point he's doing this, is he's trying to get his son to walk with these legs. So he he doesn't show them the son, but they can see him like under bandages and stuff. So one night Michael goes out, he can't sleep, so he leaves his room and he goes to see the doctor's son, just because might as well say hi if he's up. He goes there and he realizes he's not breathing. So he goes over to him and he takes off his blankets and he realizes he's just a bunch of bottles. And he realizes this is real sketch. And he goes back to his room, and the next morning there's security everywhere. So the next night he sneaks out of his window and goes up to the next story, and he finds like a horrible scene with a bunch of bodies with no limbs that are still alive, and they're just like giving blood to the doctor so he can fuel his experiments with that blood. And he gets chased by Mr. Drake, the big bodyguard guy, and he goes into this waste disposal chute with a bunch of other body parts, and then he gets his arm removed, and he's in the hospital for a little while. He tries to run away again, and he runs up to the 5th floor, which is just this one room, and he finds Mr. Drake there. And he's having, with the doctor's son, which is just a head and a spinal cord in a glass case with water in it. And so he runs across, the doctor comes up, Michael says what he was doing to the head, what Mr. Drake was doing to the head, and the doctor apparently is also, with Drake. And so Michael is just trying to get out, and he tries to kill himself, doesn't work, and then they take the rest of his limbs, and now he's a bleeder. So he's one of the bleeders now, and he's like that for a long while, and then they come in, and Mr. Drake and Dr. Marshall are like, take Michael away, and they use him for their final experiment, where they transplant his head and his skeleton into a whole nother body, a flesh suit. So he becomes the flesh suit, he's in recovery for a while, he does a bunch of experiments, he hears about how the doctor's son, something went wrong with his transplant into a flesh suit, so they're really mad at him, and they do more experiments, and then one day they do more experiments on him, but really they're just going to execute him. And he's taken away by this one guard out into the forest where he's going to be killed, but the nurse that was helping him recuperate comes and helps him escape, and both the guard and the nurse die, and Michael gets the guard's gun and goes in to try to take revenge on the doctor and Drake. And so he goes down into the basement while Drake is out searching for him in the forest because he thinks something's wrong. And he goes down into the basement. He finds giant oxygen tanks and next to some furnaces, and he lets out the gas, and he goes up all of this, every story, letting out a bunch of gas. And when he finally gets to the tower room to try to get rid of the gas, he finds the doctor there and his son talking. And the son is in a wheelchair. He can't move at all. And they're having an argument, and Michael comes in and he kills the doctor. And then he tells the son about his plan, and the son is like, well, they already did a lot of bad things to you, and I really just want all of this to go away because I feel partially responsible for it. So he's like, okay, he's gonna set off the explosion in the building with the natural gas, and Michael's gonna get out. So Michael gets out, and he sees the explosion, everybody's dead, everything's gone, and then he realizes, well, if they find my body, which they were going to have to because I have to go to a hospital because I'm really beat up, they're gonna be able to reverse engineer everything that happened to my body because I'm just a bunch of different pieces of flesh. So he decides that he's gonna have to kill himself, and he goes full circle and he gets hit by a train.